Hello everybody and welcome to this playthrough for Master Division qualifying round edition for the Milano 9-hole cup here in Golf Clash the game. Video sponsored by Golf Clash and Playdemic, and before we start, make sure that you do hit the thumbs up button, also subscribe to the channel and turn on the notifications. You can get the qualifying round guide for free when it comes to Master by getting it through the description down below, which we will upload to once the guide is done, so make sure you keep an eye on it. Or you just join any type of Golf Clash community out there and you will be able to see it posted there once the guide is done. You can also make sure that you do have a package for the upcoming tournaments to get the best guides there is on the market for Pro, Expert and Master by going to patreon.com/golfclashtom, and you do have the link in the description down below. Follow the info box on the right hand side to get the club distance adjustment, elevation adjustment, also what ball and club type we suggest you to play with. Have in mind that our focus here has been to do a mix of free to play and special balls here, mainly doing free to play when we feel there is no need to play with a special ball, and then obviously a special ball where we feel there is a need for it and we will have an edge of doing so. Make sure that you comment in the comment section below, or you use the Telegram chat to ask questions about the shots. Let's go to hole number one. For hole number one, we're gonna start with a no movement, so don't touch your target until it's time to adjust the rings. Here we want to play with a 5.5 bar topspin, and we want to play with 2 bars of side spin to the right. So we're gonna go up to 5.5 in just a bit, I think, at least 5.5. There we go. So, okay, there we go. Takes me forever. Then we're gonna adjust max plus 15 power 3 ball settings and try to hit perfect. What I would like to say though is that if you have a tendency to hit great right, I would recommend to either add just a click of left curl or to add a 0.1 or 0.2 more to your adjustment, so you prevent yourself from having the second bounce to clip the rough. It will be in no danger of a birdie, but it's just so unnecessary to lose out on that opportunity. So we do it perfect, and we do get to 368. We do want to be around 363 to 373 yards, because now the second shot we want to per default play with 1.5 bars of topspin and 2 bars of left spin with our thorn, and we're gonna look to do a rough bump. You see that I'm looking around here, but I'm changing one, like in the end though, to go with 1.5 bar topspin, 2 bars of left spin. Ball guidelines should be to the hole, not through. Very important. And now look at the plus yardage. I'm in +4, and the +4 then equal a specific slider. The slider we're gonna use there is 87%, and we are going to play 10% elevation. You can play this shot obviously with Hornet or with Falcon instead, but we have chosen to focus on the Thorn because the Thorn is a club that the general player does have in a higher level more often than, let's say, for a Falcon. This shot has dropped plenty of times already. Very good and secure way of attacking the pin here in hole number one, where, you know, there is send it shots on hole number one as well, but I'm not so much for to gamble, and where with different wind angles you will not be able to play that shot. Then we have a safe and secure way of attacking the pin where a perfect is gonna be in every time. Hole number two is going to be a tough one, but I would like us to play with a single rough bump here by using the rocket. 7 bars of backspin we go to, then we remove 2 clicks, so we're gonna use 6.9 backspin and 1 bar of left spin. Now it is not crucial, but it's valuable for you to have a power 1 ball to start in absolute max distance with the ball guideline to the hole. Once that has been done, we pull back 2 rings. Make sure that you do that in a straight line, or you will most likely then miss to the left or to the right if you pull back in a weird angle. Adjustment here is going to be maximum distance with a 25% over adjustment, power 0 ball setting. Hit perfect and you will see this ball to be either very close to hole or in the hole, because we're catching the funnel that is there on the green to roll that ball to the hole. I've tried different options here and all options has its own difficulty. I ended up to stay with the rocket shot here as it dropped for me more than other shots did, and I feel that if just doing the pullback, this is a very good chance for a drop on hole number 2 in Master. Hole number 3, this is a tough win, so we do need to be careful. I want to start at the plus 19 yard mark, so just below plus 20, with Apocalypse level 8 with the blue ring by the rough line, Apocalypse level 5 and 6, half of the blue ring inside the rough, and Apocalypse level 7, 1/5, so 20% of the blue ring inside the rough to the right. 5.8 topspin and 2 bars of side spin to the right, and then we adjust max plus 10, and regardless how much we adjust into overpower, we should always use 1.5 ring of overpower, not more, not less, 1.5 ring. Half a ball of curl to the right as well, and I've been hitting great left, great right and perfect, and you will still be on the fairway, so you don't have to be doesn't have to be any concerns about that. Obviously with a great left the angle may be a little bit different for the second shot than what it would be with a great right and perfect. Now second shot, what we are going to do from 360 is that we are going to first do a fringe check. Like at the start of the fringe, we take a look. Yes, that is plus 20. Important to have in mind. 2 left spin, 6.8 bars of top spin. And now for Cataclysm level 8, we want the ball guideline to go through the hole approximately 1 green square. When it comes to Cataclysm level 7, ball guideline should go just through the hole. And Cataclysm level 6, we do want the ball guideline to go to the hole instead. The reason for that is that it all has a different stat when it comes to ball guideline, so that's very important to follow. Now minus 10% elevation, plus 20, we do remember we play 62% slider from plus 20. Once again, minus 10% elevation maybe sounds weird as we play an uphill elevation for a shot that is not uphill, but it does work, and that's the only thing that we do care about. We hit the rough, you can see that we have room for a great right and a great left, and comes in with a lovely speed right at pin for a beautiful albatross here on hole number 3. This is probably, together with hole number 9, I would say hole number 9 is definitely the hardest one, but when it comes to the other shots to drop, I think hole number 3 is the toughest. So this one will mainly be eagles, but with the adjustment explained here in the video, you will always have a chance, if you hit perfect, to have a drop for an albatross. On hole number 4, it doesn't show on the replay, but I want you to start with a power 4 ball to find complete minimum distance of our club. We want 5.5 bar backspin and 1 bar of left spin. So when we do find minimum distance of our club, we want the ball guideline to go just through the hole. That's very important. Once you have found that spot, then you switch to whatever power 0 to power 3 wind 5 ball you may have, because it doesn't matter if it is a power 0 or a power 3, just that it's not a power 4 or power 5, because that will make you go in between clubs. Minimum distance with a 5% under adjustment, so uphill adjustment is what we're looking to do here. So minus 5% minimum distance, power 1 ball settings. Adjust, hit perfect, and this is always going to be close, and obviously with a good chance to getting this ball to drop. I would say like this, like a little extra tip for you, if you do have the 4th anniversary ball or the open ball, start with that ball to do both spin, position and get the wind, because it has all of it, just that it doesn't have the power correct. Then for the adjustments you still need to switch ball, but that will help you to get an easy way to get the landing position correct. It also gives you an easy way to get the spins correct already from start. Good chance on hole number 4. For hole number 5, we do have a wind that is very favorable, and here we have focused on the Thor's hammer as a club, and I'm going to explain why. once we have taken the shot. Max topspin, no side spin whatsoever, and here we do want to start in complete max distance, and what I'm looking for here is to basically have the ball guideline centered in between the fringe line and the left side of the rough, trying to do so at least by looking at the ball guideline. Once that is done, we apply an adjustment that it's max, no elevation, power 5 ball settings. When it comes to Thor's hammer level 8, we shall not push up anything. When it comes to Thor's hammer level 7 and level 6 and level 5, we shall, level 7 first, we push up 3 yards. And then Thor's hammer level 6 and level 5, we push up 5 yards. And then you may be wondering, why push up 2 yards extra with Thor's hammer level 6 and level 5 when it has the same power as Thor's hammer level 7? The reason for that is that we do have less topspin on Thor's hammer level 6 and level 5. And to give you an idea on how to play that shot is that you are going to push up once again Thor's hammer level 7 3 yards. Thor's hammer level 6 we push up 5 yards to compensate for the less topspin that we do have. Thor's hammer level 5 needs to be played with a Bryson ball to get that, you know, to still keep the power 5 but also have the topspin boost to help you bounce and roll through the rough. We estimate it to be approximately two topspin boost bars on that one. Sure, you can play with other topspin boost balls if you want to, but the Bryson ball is perfect, which helps you being able to mimic the position that we do have with Thor's hammer level 6 and level 7 in that way, because it has then the same power on that ball as well. So here we're only looking to get through the rough, and we're going to then have a wedge. And here what I'm doing is true club distance, 30% elevation, but you know, to be honest, I'm not super what can I say, I'm not really looking that much as the adjustment here, because what I focus the most on here is to use the side spin to align the ball guideline with the wind, which means that even if I'm adjusting a lot of rings here, I will still not leave the cup with my ball guideline. So in that case, it becomes you know, such a bulletproof way of getting this eagle locked in from that distance. If you being very unlucky, you can get dead bounces from the rough, which means that you're not gonna roll through the rough, and that's gonna happen sometimes. Nothing we can control. It's just that's how the game works when it comes to rolling through rough sometimes. What we looked at then was, should we maybe look at laying up on the far left or far right instead? Problem with that shot is so much tougher than a rough iron with pretty much a straight wind from the rough. So be prepared to, if you are unlucky, to have a rough iron towards the pin, but that rough iron is a very short one and you can use all the topspin, and it's all about hitting a perfect ball on the second shot, which once again we value be easier to get, or at least it will be more eagles dropped with that rough iron than it would be if we would be laying up on the far left or on the far right fairway. So this is the play. Thor's hammer is the focus here to be able to use the topspin that we do have on our club. Hole number 6, and we play another no movement, and we are not gonna touch the target until it's time to adjust the rings. 4.5 bar topspin, which is then going to be possible even with Apocalypse level 5, and obviously then better. Adjustment is going to be max plus 10 power 5 ball settings, and then it's very important that we do push up to the plus yardage that is then based on what wind strength we are having. So for 12 miles per hour we should be pushing up to plus 24. In the video here I do push up to plus 22, which is still okay, but I want to have those extra 2 yards that I just explained. So plus 24 for 12 miles per hour. Max overpower with a slower needle. So have that in mind. So a slower needle will obviously be a little bit easier than to hit perfect. Drive yardage is 388, but we don't care. We are going to look for the plus yardage that we're going to have once we have found our correct position, which is top of the yellow ring by the edge of the rough. If you play with B52 level 6, you do want to have the top of the yellow ring just barely overlapping the rough line, because it has just slightly less accuracy than B52 7 and 8. Now, ball guideline to be 1.5 green square short of pin. Top spin is the only thing that we're going to use, no side spin. Plus 10 equal a slider that is going to be 86% slider with 5% elevation, power 5 ball settings. What I do with my pull here is that if I do adjust more than 10 rings, which I will do with every type of wind, is that I do go with 2 times over the bullseye. So let's say that I do adjust 13 rings. I adjust 10 rings first, and then I adjust the additional 5 by pulling over bullseye 1 more time to get it correct for you as well. This is, in my opinion, especially with this wind that we do have, a very good chance for an albatross here, and doing that with a free-to-play ball like the Luminary is absolutely brilliant. For hole number 7 and the final of the par 3s, we're going to start with a power 1 ball in complete minimum distance of our club. 3.7 bars of topspin and 1 bar of right spin. And then we're looking to have the ball guideline to go through the hole, approximately 1 green square. Once that is done, you can see that the ball guideline is through the hole. We're going to adjust minimum distance minus 15% elevation. And here I would like to say like this. If you do have the wind angle that I have here in the video, you will be able to play with a power 1 ball as well. But if you do have a little bit of a tailwind angle, you will not be able to do so. So my recommendation is to play with a power 0 wind 5 ball every single time to make sure that you will always be staying away from going in between clubs. We will actually hit the bunker here, and that is intentional. So this sand bump is actually the shot that has dropped the most of the par 3s that you see in this playthrough, at least percentage wise, which surprised me big time. But that sand bump seems to be very consistent, and you know, I started to really love that shot. So again, we adjust minimum distance minus 15%, power 1 ball settings, and it's always 3.7 topspin and 1 right spin. And what I would give as an extra tip here, start with a navigator ball. It has 1 side spin, it does have the power 1, and it also obviously has the topspin that is controlled by the club, the quarterback. Because if starting with that ball, it helps you give the correct position and the spins easier, and then you can swap to a Zenith ball or any other type of power 0 wind 5 ball after that. On hole number 8, we're going to do a very simple drive. No movement, so don't touch the target until it's time to adjust the rings. 3.5 bar top spin and 1 left spin. And again, for the Apocalypse, we do go with Apocalypse level 5+. Adjust max plus 10 power 4 ball settings. And here, if you don't want to spend a power 4 wind 4 ball, you can change to a Kingslayer or to a Centurion and still be able to do the same type of shot. The only difference is going to be is that you're going to have a needle that moves quicker than what we do have here, because I want us to play with a slow needle overpower here to get the ball to where we want to. So we do go 1.2 ball of left curl. We do go with max overpower with slow needle. Now, very important to pay attention to your drive yardage. To give you a reference, we want to look to be somewhere between 400 and 410. 408 yards is what we're going to focus on here. And we're going to start by moving the Endbringer level 5+ to be blue ring by the top of the fringe, or like end of the fringe, whatever we want to call it. Then we apply topspin, which is going to be somewhere between 2 to 3 topspin bars, depending on how far or short we are ending up with our drive. Ball guideline should be approximately 1 green square short of hole. Adjustment now for the second shot is going to be 50% elevation, and from 408 yards we are going to play 88% slider. And what we do here with the Endbringer is that we want to go 1% for every yard. So if you would in that case go 409 yards, you would be playing 87% slider. 410 yards, you would be playing 86% slider, and so forth. And this shot has dropped several times already. It's a very secure way of playing, and as we're playing with the Endbringer, a minor grate could go in if you are lucky. Again, you can play with Endbringer level 5 plus, as it has the range that we're looking for. It also has I would say it's a 0.1 difference in ball guideline, which means that we can follow the ball guideline as explained here with an Endbringer level 8 as good as with an Endbringer level 5. Oh well, hole number 9. This is going to be a tough one. First and foremost, we want and need to play with a wind 0 ball, which we do have many balls like this. So I'm using, in this case, 6.2 bars of topspin and 2 bars of side spin to the right. Red ring by the rough line at max distance. If we would be having a POC 7, we go with 20% of the red ring inside the rough, and 50% of the red ring inside the rough with a POC 5 and 6. Adjust max plus 10, push up to max regardless of what wind you are having. And just to give you a reference, we use 6.2 topspin with 16.8 miles per hour. If we would then go and be playing with let's say an 18 mile per hour wind, we would use 5.5 bar of topspin instead. Half a ball of curl to the right, hit perfect, rather hit great right than great left. A bad great left do have a risk of clipping the rough with the second bounce, so have that in mind. Now, you know, we're gonna look closely on our drive distance, because the fact is though that this hole is, I would say, close to impossible to give you a firm drive that we're gonna get you to the same place all the time. It's gonna vary from a range of 475 and 510, and that's a lot. So what we have done here when it comes to the second shot is that we have tried to base the amount of rings to push up for Guardian based on our drive yardage. Obviously, this is something that you're going to have to apply some feeling to as well, because it's estimations. Because we cannot get it to, you know, those exact details that we normally can, because the second shot is extremely tough, especially when we don't know where the ball is going to land and we have a span of around 40 yards. So let's take a look at the second shot here. This is based on a drive that has gone 500 yards, this shot here now, all right, with a perfect ball. So what I do here is 7 bars of backspin, 2 bars of right spin. I try to visualize the first bounce to be center on the pad that we're not now, but the pad that is inside the rough. Adjust max plus 10. Once we have done that, I will push up 4.5 rings with the Guardian level 8 and 9. I will push up 5 rings with Guardian level 7 as it has less power. So we push up and then apply max overpower, outside wall curl to the right with a slower needle. So obviously hitting perfect is going to be easier, and then the idea is to hit the pad, bounce up towards the green and stay there. I'm not expecting an albatross here at all, and I do, however, hope to get myself to green. And I say hope because, again, if we misjudge the way and the amount of rings to push up, then that's going to be an issue for us, and we may end up into the rough or sand. But it's still going to be such a short shot towards an eagle that is going to be much better than it would be to lay up and try from distance with a short iron or a long iron instead. So, you know, be careful here on hole number 9, but if you do get the drive correct and you have a second shot, you're gonna be somewhere around the green with your Guardian here, once again on hole 9. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching this playthrough for Master Division here for the qualifying round of the Milano 9-hole cup. You have a drop on every hole besides hole number 9, and, you know, I don't expect hole number 9 to drop anyway, but it's at least a, you know, safe eagle. Make sure to join our Telegram chat and also get our free qualifying round guide for Master. You will be able to see the link in the description down below once the guide is out, and it will also be posted in Telegram chats and also in, you know, all other communities out there. And then make sure that you do subscribe and get ready for the big tournaments and to get the best guides on the market for Pro, Expert and Master. Video sponsored by Golf Clash and Playdemic. Thank you so much for watching and good luck in your Golf Clash game.